Okay, so I'm going to go back onto the other screen and let people know. Ah, goody. My Microsoft Outlook just went out. So hopefully everybody gets. Gotta turn that off. Ooh, I see people showing up. I'm just going to do a little cut and paste here. Oops, it's not going for some strange reason. Oh, well, everybody's back. Well, that's all right. We've got 117 people. Wow, that was fast. Y'all made it over here really quickly. I had to do that because the stream was just too weird. I was on the 2 and 3G, and I tried to switch to the 5, so I apologize. Anyway, how is everyone? Did it stop buffering? Oh, goody. Hi, is everybody taking good care of themselves with the weather changes? Can you believe this? Very hot everywhere. Very hot. I guess we can do some blitzes on the weather if people like. What do you all think? The buffering is gone. Oh, goody. Checking some stuff. All right, how are we doing? Everybody okay? Okay, so first things first, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. And the announcement is, for those of you who don't know, I will be in Atlanta, Georgia, the 17th and 18th at the Feel Good Festival. The Feel Good Festival is a conglomeration of people who've come together to save the planet and to help one another feel good. If you're a vendor, if you're an artist, if you are someone who is a sole proprietor and you would like to sell your art, your music, your earrings, your jewelry, whatever your shtick is, and you would like to come to the Atlanta, Georgia area and hang with us at the Feel Good Festival, July 17th and 18th, I would like to give you the email of the Feel Good Festival. There is still time to take new vendors, and there's still time to get discounts if you would like to come in and just get a deal. So just write the Feel Good Festival at gmail.com, and the code word is capital letter R Tribe, all in caps. And I believe try it as one word. And if it doesn't work as one word, break it into two. But it's all one word. Our tribe is the Whimsy community. So if you want to get 30% off of your tickets to get into the door, use the promo code Our Tribe to get 30% off. If you would like to get discounts on booths, or you want to get a whole tent for you and your group, I believe that Michelle Knight can make that happen. The coordinator is Michelle Knight, and I'm going to be announcing every day until we get it all together about the festival in Atlanta, Georgia. I think it's really auspicious that the Feel Good Festival is happening in Atlanta, Georgia, because we've talked a lot about the Southern Renaissance and how the old ways are gone, thank God. The old ways are gone, and now what is arising is the Renaissance of the South. And part of that Renaissance is that the South will rise again, but not like it was before. it's rising again as a home for the new green economy, sharing people of diverse cultures coming together and sharing their goodness in order to lift up the world. And so I can't think of a more auspicious place than Atlanta, Georgia, for the first Feel Good Festival since, let's face facts, Georgia saved our democracy. So we got to give them extra respect. So I hope I will see you there. As I had said, I'm going to be giving a talk on human evolution. I am an anthropologist. We're going to be talking how human beings are, their function in the world, which is to create heaven on earth and to spread that love and goodness out into the universe, into the infinite. I think that's a pretty good topic. What do y'all think? All right. So if you would like to get tickets, it's and you just are like, I don't want to sell anything. But I do want to take my family to the Feel Good Festival because I like good music. You can go to the feelgoodfestival.com. I think there's going to be a tent where we can do some drumming and some dancing, which I'm really excited about. I really like Caribbean dancing, drum dancing. It'll be interesting to see what's going to be happening. I'm also just encouraging everybody, if you have friends or family in the college areas, university students, I'd love to see different student communities get involved. Muslim student community usually gets involved in these sorts of things because they bring delicious food, get to share their culture. My friends do henna parties. Hopefully they'll be able to come. And like I said, the Caribbean community, Jewish community, I hope can show up. It's just a lot of fun and helping people be happy. All right. So when I get the call, I will go ahead and blitz away. I'll be here as long as everybody likes. Okay, Blitz. All right. Okay, Blitz. That sounds like a great idea. Ooh, Blitz away. Now that's a proper request. All right, let's go ahead and do the Empaths prayer first, shall we? Good to see you as well, Jeffrey. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower this community on their journey to make the best decisions for themselves, their families, the planet, the people they love, but also to help those they may have strife with. And together collectively, we say, Amen. Let's go in. Let's first look at the weather in Florida and the East Coast due to the hurricane surge. I don't know much about it. Hopefully it's not as bad as they said it was going to be. I'll do a blitz on it. Unfortunately, here's the main problem. The main problem feels like when it comes to this bad weather, like what's happening with Elsa, the flooding that's happening on the East Coast, the concern is that a lack of preparedness, a lack of keeping the houses up to code are creating more problems than have to happen, because I feel like this is a nationwide problem with lack of accountability and lack of infrastructure. You can see here the Four of Swords, which can be in the grave, or it can be an ominous, depending upon what the kind of cards are. It can be a death card in some cases. It's a situation where things have stopped or stood still. Sometimes it can be a card of deep meditation. I don't like the fact that it's associated with a moon card. A moon associated with what's sometimes referred to as a moon, as a death card, could indicate that confusing or lunatic behavior leads to death. Irrational, lack of foresight, lack of planning, woo-woo, living in la la land, but the moon is like the lunatic energy that comes in, and unfortunately for that reason we could see a lot more damage during this hurricane season simply because we're not prepared. There's also something about legal battles and where the money is going with these hurricanes in terms of who's getting aid and who is not getting aid, and it could become an actual legal issue. Death. This is starting to look like there's going to be more problems in Florida and on the East Coast because of the types of infrastructure collapses that are taking place in housing, etc. And it could also potentially be bribes or something like that, something going down financially that leads to, look at this, you've got death card, you've got cards associated with death due to lunatic behavior. This could be Ace of Swords, can be a justice card. It can be a 1-year card, justice after tears, which you have an 8 of Swords here, which is a red tape or getting yourself in a situation you should never put yourself in the first place. I think that the lack of oversight, the lack of investing in infrastructure, the lack of the laissez-faire attitude of some of the governors in these southeastern states, and also to some extent the northeastern states, is going to lead potentially to casualties that didn't have to happen. I'm going to do a clarification here. It's not the best news, I'm sorry to say. The biggest concern right now has to do with the fact it's not the hurricanes and the flooding that's the main concern. The main concern for life expectancy on Earth, humans on Earth, has to do with the heating up of the planet and corruption that happened in terms of probably government loan packages, etc., where money, if Congress has the money go to one place and it goes to another. That's the type of corruption we're talking about. You can see here we had the 6 of Pentacles in the Blitz as denoting the situation. It can be justice, how the money is evenly put out, but we can see the emerging energy in the southeast and northeastern United States where the hurricane is coming. Harvesting coin. 7 of Pentacles is my green economy. I always see that the future economy is only the green economy. You can see here my concern again about global warming is typified by the movement of the energy in the second house, which is death associated with the sun or the heat. And so the main problem environmentally for us is we have to get the temperature of the earth down, and we have to move towards the new green economy. We are victorious over the confusion. It could be false news, false data, false science, again, typified by a card like the 7 of Cups, which is a card about howling at the moon, not howling at the moon, but confusion, and also promiscuity, not knowing which cup to pick. Ace of Swords, victory after tears. The clarification is a refusal to deal with the necessary changes due to global warming will lead potentially to casualties that didn't have to happen, and people will be prosecuted and probably go to jail. There will probably be legal action resulting in people going to jail as a result. They did it to themselves. So I think that if we see more problems, more building collapses, more buildings not being able to withstand things like hurricanes, etc., particularly in Florida, buildings not being up to code because of corruption, etc., it's not just going to be that the buildings collapsed. This is showing potential charges and actual imprisonment. Because what happened with that building is part of a greater problem, and people are terrified because a large senior population lives in Florida and has condos. Everybody has family who has condos in Florida. The Seinfelds had a joke about that. Going to see my parents in Florida, right? All right, so that is what I see about the weather and concerns about that. Huh. Earthquake 5.9. I heard it was 5.6, 5.7, but they do happen. Oh, the next door neighbor has been kind enough to offer to babysit Mila. And in fact, she and Mila have a date, I believe, on the 16th. They're going to get to know each other better. Mike the Pillow Guy. Yeah, what's going on there? I feel so sorry for Mike the Pillow Guy. I think he's not all there. It's like making fun of brain damaged senior citizens that are addicted to pharmaceutical drugs. You know, it's what is going on with my pillow guy, Mike the Pillow Guy. Mike the Pillow. Does he not own? I don't see him. He must have sold it, right? He sold the company. He sold all rights to it and walks away. Is that already happened? This looks like somebody who's being given an offer to, he's being paid to leave. He's being paid to go away almost, because you can see here the Six of Cups. You have this lovely, beautiful energy. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, harvesting the green. And then he goes off, the Eight of Cups, and then shown mercy, Six of Pentacles. It's almost like, we will show you mercy if you just leave. I mean, it's very sad, actually, when you think about it. Vulnerable people get used over and over and over again. All right. Oh, I was going to say, if you do decide to be a vendor, if you want to, for example, sell food at the Feel Good Festival in Atlanta or anything like that, or I think try and get your message to the Feel Good Festival by tonight. The sooner she can get your request, if you are an artist or a tradesperson trying to sell and you'll be at the festival, if you can just contact her, Michelle Knight, sooner rather than later, because I think there's a cutoff time. feelgoodfestival@gmail.com. If I need to write it out again. Oh. A lot of the readers are coming. Lisa from Nasty Women is coming. Susan from Susan Lynn Theroux. I'll be there. I think there's several other readers are going to be showing up. It's nice because we don't see the reader. There actually are really good readers in the South, but it'd be a chance to meet the readers that work in the South. All right. So Texas governor has raised over $55 million. Is any of this money COVID relief? Oh, that's a really interesting question. see. $54 million. Where's the money going to go? There's a federal investigation into how money is being repurposed in Texas. Even if you feel you're being justified by bailing out the meat industry because they lost so much cattle, if you're arguing that the floods, etc., cost, I mean, I get that you're feeling like the money is going to the right place, but unfortunately, I think of Three of Cups is a type of accountability. It's kind of like they're all watching. It's like the Furies are all watching what you're doing. What is he doing? That's a lovely energy, the Three of Cups, but not if you've done something wrong. It can be a celebration or a rejoicing. I don't like the Three of Cups with a card I associate with prison or jail. And I see here the Queen of Pentacles, which is the feds, a federal investigation, and a strong case. I think what happened is that they're saying now that $34 million is missing from federal funds. You also have the governor collecting funds that are supposed to be appropriated for one thing and going to another. The argument here is kind of like Iran-Contra. Well, we were trying to save lives. That's why we had this whole drugs and guns, because we were trying to save lives. I mean, it was just so bizarre. Rather than helping the economies of the people that are suffering in those areas. So it's the same kind of feeling here that the Texas governor, well, they lost their chickens, the slaughterhouses, the people died. Well, they lost their animals. We've got, yes, we acknowledge that all of that's true, but that was not where the money was supposed to be going to because of this type of jail, the feds, strong case, and the watcher women. The card has an aspect of being like the watchers, the watcher women. Didn't want to see. Look at that. Justice blind, putting yourself in the situation. There's the jailer. Regarding the federal investigation. Yeah, you can't just take the money from the feds and do what you want with it. There's an accountability here. This is going to come out in about a month, that there's actually an audit. You can't act like that. You can't. This is an audit because you have an Ace of Wands as an outcome, which can be accountability within 1 month. It's, yeah. And look at this, jail, a jailer. They did it to themselves. The watching. Not good. All right. So we have a bit of a situation in Haiti. The president of Haiti has been assassinated. 6 people are arrested. I believe one of them is an American national. So the question is, did the CIA order the hit? There's a lot of evidence that the Western world and the CIA, et cetera, have a vested interest in keeping Haiti down. They don't want Haiti to be successful. But let's find out who ordered this hit and what we can about the assassination of the president of Haiti. And thank you for everyone who's decided to be here. Be sure and share, like, subscribe, and click the bell notification. I do appreciate it. Assassination of the president of Haiti. Paul something or other, right? What's his name? All right, let's see here. Assassination, who was involved? So it looks like, I don't know anything about Haiti, but it looks like there is a type of truce that was going on between 5 groups or 5 gangs or 5 regions. They had a kind of truce. It was a situation where they agreed not to kill each other and that they were going to allow this particular person to be a president or something like this. You have a 5 of Wands, which can be exchange of ideas. It can be a card that's associated with fighting. The 5 of Wands could also be 5 different tribes or factions. There seems to be some world involvement, so it could be linked back to money from overseas because you have a world card here, and then you have an Ace of Pentacles and a 4 of Wands. It looks like there are 5 different communities vying for power. 3 of them are very powerful, and possibly one of them with overseas deals. And that community overseas that seems to have some financial interest there, possibly with questionable money, ordered the assassination because they wanted to put their person in and because they felt that this president was not supporting their interest. That's what it looks like. Yeah, so it almost looks like the CIA ordered it or something because of this foreign money. If you had 5 tribes and 3 of them, and they were all agreeing not to kill each other, and they all agreed this guy's got to go, and the 3 with most of the power who have some kind of international link, possibly CIA or another foreign government, order the hit. Follow the money. They'll find it by following the money. It looks like it was an ordered assassination by his rivals, and his rivals had foreign allegiance, probably to the United States, since one was an American. Well, thank you, Sue Forrest. It's awfully kind of you. I do appreciate it. You can see investigation, the high priestess over the fighting. Also more investigation here. The hermit with the world contact. Receiving money from the world or foreign contact. They've got themselves in a pickle. We shall see. They used to be part of France. They fought a revolution and won. The Western world responded by punishing them for surviving. Right? Okay, let's see here. Will the U.S. ever help Haiti gain a real democracy? They are part of the reason Haiti is in trouble. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I was thinking about this. Good question, Melissa. We'll go ahead and pin that. I was thinking about this recently, this idea that if you're looking at where Jeffrey Epstein and all these horrible people are doing their drugs and their trafficking of children, and the fact that he was most definitely a CIA operative because he got on the boats and he was able to see these operations, and these people had immunity from the feds. They got to go and do whatever they wanted because they were informants. Just like I think Jared Kushner is an informant, which has kept him out of trouble. So you don't have to like them, but this is unfortunately how the game is played. It's just like what Putin said when we did a remote for Putin, and he said, "You kill you. Well, you kill. Like I get to kill my FSB officers if you get to kill your CIA people, which you do." So, you know, the star, right? The wall of stars with the names you don't know, that many of whom we killed personally, and or we told them they had to kill themselves, right? The agent is given a choice, right? You do it or we'll do it for you. So who knows? Who knows who was in the middle of Haiti? But let's see if the U.S. is going to help. Not pretty. That is for sure. The ugly business of spying, right? You know, I feel like it's paltry. I feel like the aid the United States gives to Haiti is typical of what we see with victim bashing. There's a real animosity towards people simply because they've survived because of displaced shame. When we do things we're not supposed to do and we feel guilty, we will smack around a vulnerable person rather than say, hey, I'm a jerk. What happens when you don't treat somebody right and they take it and then they get self-respect and they walk out the door and say, I'm never going to speak to you again? When they get self-worth, you immediately realize what you've done. Like, wow, that was a good person. I shouldn't have behaved like that. You know, we've all made mistakes, right? So that's kind of the situation with Haiti. Haiti has to save herself because she can't rely on anybody else to do it for her. You can see here justice is blind when it comes to Haiti. They have no empathy. The world has no empathy for Haiti whatsoever. And then this is like meagerly. It's like a few coins, but there's really an intolerance. But you have a new beginning, new opportunities in business. I feel that they're going to have to focus on, it looks like Haiti could be potentially sinking. Parts of Haiti are sinking. And there has to be a new focus on whether or not they can even save Haiti at this point, because it looks like potentially parts of Haiti could be going underwater. They're reinvesting in reconstruction of buildings in Haiti after storms, etc. There is some aid. You can see reconstruction happening here. So there does appear to be some help coming from the Biden administration. Yeah, a lot of good activity happening in Haiti, and it looks like crime will be stabilized. Look at that nice Ace of Swords. The people in Haiti are saying that it was a good thing. You know, you get the energy. There were like 3 out of 5 of these main tribes agreeing. So that he was just very bad, they feel, and that he stole the money and the resources. So a lot of people feel good about this assassination, unfortunately. You can see the Ace of Rods over the Watchers, the women, Mother Maiden Crone, or those who see, with the Ace of Wands, and then the Ace of Swords over the Benefactor's card, so justice, and then over Hanged Up. I'm concerned about whether with, I like the fact that they have the reconstruction happening. New partnership in Haiti. It's not really use it there, use it here, use it anywhere. If we participated as a nation in keeping our slaves in Haiti or keeping our slaves in the Caribbean, but we had the alcohol here, if we were part of the triangular trade, then it makes complete sense that the problems that are happening today in those countries that were that were basically death camps for African people that crossed in the Middle Passage, and that without us all taking responsibility for how this happened and doing our part and stop blaming the victim, then I think that it would go a long way to help the whole planet. But creating economic stability in Haiti would be very good for the United States. Increasing tourism there, creating a stable economy would reduce crime, helping our neighbors, particularly when you think about things like restitution, is actually really good for American business. Not that that's why we should do it, but anytime people are free and loved and cared for and nurtured, and you fix what was wrong, everyone benefits. Why was Toyota switchboard angry customers? I don't know. I don't do missing children because this is an entertainment channel, and I would prefer not to channel the dead out of respect for people who are still grieving, and a lot of people don't feel it's appropriate. And those are the two things. Other readers talk to the dead. Like Susan Lynn, she's really good at it. But I'm a great remote viewer, getting into people's heads and finding out all kinds of interesting things. Okay. You know what I've gotten really into lately is fresca. Have you guys ever tried aqua fresca? These Spanish aqua frescas? It's like you take the fruit and you blend it, and you can put a sweetener in, like coconut sugar or agave or regular sugar if you're being a little naughty. It's so tasty. I've just been drinking these all day long. Does America become a fascist future like Malcolm Nance says? Let's take a look. I have so much faith in our younger generation, but let's take a look. The future of fascism in America. Fascism, very, very bad. Fascism in America. No, because it's just like the rebuilding of Germany after World War II. People come out of the mountains and join in the reconstruction of the country, because you have a Three of Wands, which is looking overseas. You get your wish. It's it's a wish card waiting for your ships to come in. There's a Six of Cups, wooing people back. A Six of Cups is like old loves returning. The Wheel of Fortune comes to us, the Karma card regarding work, the Ten of Wands. So no, it kind of dissipates this whole rah stuff. And, cable news in general is responsible for it. Like CNN, they wanted to make it like a boxing match between but unfortunately, they've taken it a little too far. Now people literally are. They wanted to make it like ESPN, a sports channel. So over our wish being granted, the world, very nice. We get our standing back in the world. Three of Cups over the Six of Cups. Nice. Very interesting. No, the people that want to work will go back to work and be paid well. The people that are riders are going to Gitmo. I mean, you have a jailer's card here. You have people going to work. You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. You have the Knight of Rods, new aggressive beginnings with the Wheel of Fortune. You have the Three of Cups, celebration of cups, old loves returning, and then the World. So I would say it's unlikely that those are not cards that would denote fascism. Those are cards that would denote a feeling like the Green New Deal is here, and we're like happy workers trying to save the Gaia, trying to make sure there's food on the table. We're all in this together. We're all educated about what's happening. And troublemakers are going to be taken care of. That's what I think. Oh, you had a guinea pig named Fresca. Very cute. Yeah. What does everybody think about the different types of lifestyles that are coming up to deal with the economy? There are 10 countries that welcome American immigration. They say it's really easy to immigrate, like Belize is really easy to immigrate. Oh, thank you, Kevin. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Kevin loves me. Thank you, Kevin. So let's take a look at the first Americans, how they're doing. What is the future of the 500? And how many do we recognize now? 525, something like that, Indigenous persons in North America. Life expectancy is not that good in many of these reservations. If you can visit reservations, shop, do business there, it'd be great for the locals. They've got camping, fishing, all kinds of cool stuff. Great way to support your local communities is to visit the reservations and shop, camp, and explore. Or gamble, if that's what you're into. The Indigenous Nations, yes. Let's take a look. It's interesting. I just feel that a lot has been lost. When you look at what the Native American community has gone through, the Trail of Tears, being forced on reservations with high uranium, radiation, toxic chemicals, hantavirus, dying of diseases, sometimes intentionally infected. What's happened in Canada, where these massive influenza would wipe out children, but evidently many of them were just beaten to death, starved to death, neglected. It's very, very sad. So again, we have Mother Maiden Crone, or what I like to call the Watcher Women. They watch, right? So I think of that as like, they force us to look at, to see the reality of our actions, to see the reality of what we have done. There's also a feeling here of tremendous loss already. You can see the Five of Cups, the Trail of Tears, the senseless slaughter, the senseless oppression. There was no reason for this other than arrogance, narcissism, just all the unnecessary nature of it all. the beautiful Seven of Pentacles coming in for the tribes, which is, as you know, the new green economy. It's breaking ground and creating things that are going to strengthen the planet. And then the Judgment is here. So there's, again, an account and a reckoning, again, right, regarding things that have been lost. The new economy flourishes with the Native community, and then a judgment in their favor, which could indicate that there are going to be some lawsuits affecting the tribes, and it's very likely the tribes could win, but I'll look for the clarification on the judgment. This could be because of the third pipeline, line 3. Something about a judgment coming. They're constructing something new. The construction of something new, the Seven of Wands. A new partnership emerges from what was once tragic. So it's kind of like a new treaty or a new relationship with the United States. The Seven of Pentacles is clarified by victory within 6 months, so new green businesses, they could be wanting to open up the businesses on Native American lands or on tribal lands, because you can see that Six of Wands victory card coming in. So this could be a situation where they have a contract with a green or a solar company, some company that's good for the environment, that they rent or use Native American land and then pay the tribe. Or the tribe is making some of these businesses because they become wealthy or their economic situation improves due to this green economy. So it's more, so if we have labor shortages, it makes sense that those places should be built near or inside the reservations, depending upon what the tribe decides, so that they can usher in the new green economy because of this new partnership. The judgment, there's a series of trials and whatnot regarding the pipeline, etc. And you see the wish has been granted over the judgment. So expect to see a series of judgments leaning in favor of the Native American community, just like here in Washington and Oregon when we had to give them their salmon rights, right? We just wanted to come in and take Seattle and force all of the Native Americans out into the middle of nowhere. It's so interesting to talk to people and you say, well, what about that? And they go, well, we gave them the reservations. No, it's not us to give them anything. And so it's just interesting how our history is so warped about what actually happened. Going into someone's home, stealing all their stuff, killing all their relatives, and then shoving them in the basement where there's black mold and toxins and saying, hey, we gave you the basement. It's kind of how I see it. Okay. On that happy note, I don't know what the next question is, Connie. Okay, Rebecca Davis. Will Fox News and their anchors be sued for the damage to the American people over their lies about COVID? That is a really, really good question. Let's see about the lawsuits due to COVID deaths. I think that's a great question. Good job, Rebecca. Yeah, false news that leads to that kind of behavior. I see a possibility of a congressional hearing that involves Fox News. It's like they're under the microphone. It's because of Yes, there appears to be some kind of legal action, and possibly because of a disinformation campaign like what happened with the voter elections situation January 6th. The fact that Fox has been told to hold on to all their documents, the fact that Newsmax is also facing legal actions. They're trying to get into smoother waters, which leads me to think that they're already in trouble. And you can see here a 5 of Cups also. They've lost quite a bit. Then in terms of legal action against them, double aces, an ace of wands, and an ace of swords. But yeah, I think definitely it's very likely. This has happened in the past when, for example, 21 Questions or whatever that show was turned out to be a fraud. They ended up having to speak before Congress and say, yeah, the whole show is rigged. It's just entertainment. There comes a point, particularly in terms of what Rebecca Davis is saying, where you have to publicly come out and say that this is entertainment and that it's not a news show. You have free speech, that's true, but there are also consequences for what comes out of your mouth. The clarification. Yeah, they're constructing a case. There's some kind of accounting. Look at this, Lady Justice. And you can see the Ace of Rods with the Hierophant, which is the higher ethos. Yeah, I think that the voting machine thing got them in trouble, but I think that I know that they are trying to, with the kind of cards that they have, it would not surprise me if Fox was paying people to be quiet who are blaming them for the death of family members. Yeah, some tribes are wealthy and some are dirt poor. Some do well, and some the life expectancy is 40 years, Taiba. It depends on what the resources are. We're talking about over 500 separate tribes, separate communities, just like some parts of Spain are poor and sometimes parts of Britain are rich. You know, like it's in North America, we're talking about over 500 separate tribes with their own unique culture and languages. So that's also a really wide terrain too. You've got Inuit living in northern Alaska and central Alaska, and then you've got the Hopi in Southwest, which is an entirely different ecosystem. Yeah, it's pretty scary. We are not treating people as well as we could. Okay, any more questions? I think that it goes back to what the cards said, that there were people in positions of power that decided to get rid of him because they felt like he didn't represent the people anymore. And I think they had help from the United States, possibly the CIA. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead now and look at Australia, because evidently they're having a real hard time getting vaccinations. Only 9% vaccinated, which is really scary when you think about it. I really like Australia. It's unfortunate to see them going through this, particularly it's not a very densely populated country, but I guess the Delta variant is what they're concerned with. So let us look. Fun times. Australia vaccine. Yeesh. I think that it was just delays and confusion. You can see here on Australia fighting, refusing multiple offers of help, Four of Cups, from the world, results in complete confusion. My concern here for Australia is that they still look completely disorganized. They still look like, I mean, you don't want to have a Seven of Cups be the outcome because that's a ball of confusion. We don't know what to do. We didn't want this, and we didn't want that, and now we've got nothing. Evidently, they turned down Pfizer. Now they're having trouble with the AstraZeneca or whatever the drama is. This is not good. They're really confused. I don't know why this is happening. Look at this. Why is everybody else getting vaccinated? They've got a Moon card and a Seven of Cups. I don't know what I would do in a situation like this. You may be able to go through a private agency with these types of cards. If you are in Australia, I don't know if you're going to be able to get it through government vaccination. This almost looks like the fastest way to go is through private workers, foreign workers working for foreign companies that have private insurance seem to be able to get vaccinated faster than people that are getting it through the Australian government. You've got a magician card here. It's like the entrepreneurs cards coming in. If you're frustrated, see if you can't through a private clinic or through a private company get vaccinated. Because unfortunately, it continues to be a mess with that kind of an outcome. Sorry, I would just take it upon myself and pay out of pocket if you can. With those types of cards, it looked like people who had access to private insurance or private doctors could get. Can you believe that? All right, we'll check India next. Health crisis, India. I want to go to India and eat the food. I love Indian food. Best food in the world. Okay. My sister was going to go, and I was almost going to go with her, and then she had to cancel her trip because of what's happening there right now. All right. How you doing, India, with this COVID crisis? Insufficient oxygen. Oh, I wanted to say, remember when I did the remote and it took me to Jackson County, Missouri? Y'all remember that? Remember when I said keep your eye on Jackson, Missouri? A year and a half ago? Jacksonville, is that what it's called? Jacksonville. They have the highest COVID concentration now of Delta because people are not getting vaccinated. So, if you're in that area, northwest Kansas, make sure you're getting Missouri, make sure you're getting vaccinated. My friend is calling me. Oh, I should have just picked him up. I should have just said hi. Anyway, so let's see what we're doing here. I think I will send a link to oops. Okay, let's see here. Anyway, so what are we doing next? We were doing India, right? Did we do it yet? No, we didn't. I'm sorry about that. Had to get back to my friend. Jackson County. Today on Rachel Maddow, she said that Jackson County was one of the most vulnerable. So I hope everything's going to be okay. India. Oh, lots of help to India. Good. Oh, Biden's giving a lot of help to India. You know, it's like the importance of trying to salvage these relationships that really struggled under the former president. I did not read on Simeon, but I could if you want me to, Joshua. He's the crime guy that people are worried about, the Russian. All right, so in terms of India, just to finish up, you can see offers of help, Ace of Cups, with the King of Cups, which is Biden, a new beginning for India. The Dark Lady, lovely, which I'm assuming Queen of Pentacles would be India, a new beginning, a new relationship with the United States. The Queen of Rods comes in, very no-nonsense assistant, very fast assistance, financial aid, vaccination, etc. India will come out of this. Look at that. Six of Swords. Very good. Yes, India will come out of this, and they're going to get a lot of help. You know, it's interesting also that people are worried about what's going on with variations in the, now they're worried about the Delta variant changing again, so that those of us who had the Pfizer, it's not working anymore. And then if we got the Pfizer, now they're talking about having a booster. So it gets to be annoying, but. Oh, hi, Yvonne. Good to see you. The future of Afghanistan. Oh, let me see here. First, let's do Joshua. Joshua wanted to know about Simeon. Can't remember his last name, but he's a Russian mob figure. What is going on with Simeon? Who is the Simeon guy? Ukrainian Russian. Believed to be involved in drugs, guns, human trafficking. And the most wanted man in the world right now, and he lives in Moscow. Oh, welcome to the Empaths journey. Hi, Bubby, 260. I think that he stays safe by I see the boats. They say he's in Moscow, but I see him also on the boats. You can see here the harvesting of the money, the very strong. I don't see a threat to his safety right now. You can see the juggler of coin. Oh, hello, Michelle Taylor. Welcome to the Empaths journey. Very nice. See that look, chariot coming, movement. I don't feel like this individual, I don't feel like he feels that he's in trouble. In fact, quite the opposite. He has a ton of money. Ace of Pentacles is over his business. It's going to be very hard to capture him because it's almost like he has his own kingdom. That's what it looks like. It's going to be really hard to, this looks massive. It looks like a compound. It looks like, look at this. Look at all this money. Look at this loyalty. This victory over the con. He's going to remain a problem. Oh, yeah. Just to let people know that YouTube has been unsubscribing people. So if you find yourself unsubscribed, just resubscribe. I apologize. They sometimes think something's a bot. If you comment a lot or don't comment at all, they think it's inactive. I don't know. I don't know why they, I don't know. They do what they do. All right, so I'm going to do one more question. We've been going for well over an hour. So I'm going to get off the floor so that other readers can get on it. I think there's going to be some more readers tonight. But one last question before we call it a night. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Seems like 10 minutes. No, it's been over an hour. Oh, the general practitioner got your vaccine in Perth. Oh, that's good. I don't know. The Chinese vaccine is effective. Oh, the future of Afghanistan will be the last question. That's a good question. Okay, well, we want it to be good news in Missouri. We want everyone vaccinated. All right, future of Afghanistan. You know, I'm worried about lawlessness. Oh, thank you, Marie. Such a sweet gift. I appreciate that. There's a concern about lawlessness. You know, this can be a card of kidnapping, ransom. There's a concern about lawlessness. People to make money will kidnap their aristocrats. It's sort of a, you know, like kidnapping and lawlessness. And it's almost like the wealthy have their own guards and their own military or protection, and that offers some civility in Kabul. You can see the partnership of the Two of Wands moving in, a new beginning and new construction, Three of Pentacles. It feels to me like you've got multiple tribes and they are cooperating to create a stable Kabul where they can they have a vested interest in the city being stable and in certain areas being stable. And with a Three of Pentacles as an outcome, I would say that that's actually good news for Afghanistan, because that would indicate rebuilding. Now, some women will suffer in Afghanistan. That's true. But there's also the argument that women suffered more in Afghanistan because of the Americans, because we pushed the Russians out, and that allowed the Taliban to go in and force everybody into burqas. So a lot of people actually blame the Americans for what happened to the women in Afghanistan, because we were allies with, people that were doing things that were not good for human rights. Unfortunately, as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I feel that it's going to be one compound at a time. It's almost like some areas will be safe and stable, but whatever's going on out there is not stable, because you have this construction going on, but you also have a 9 of Wands, which is like a fortress. So that can sometimes happen, particularly people who've served in the military know this, where, some people never leave the military base. They never go outside the base. They never see the culture. They just stay on the base, living the life of being a soldier on the base. A 9 of Wands is a feeling of being constrained to it, even though there's construction. But unfortunately, I don't feel like the entire country can be protected from all of this tribal distension that's going on. And so consequently, it's more like the wealthy areas. Like if you own the land and it's the equivalent of Beverly Hills in Karachi, you're going to pay for tight security. You probably have a relationship with the military, and they're going to have a vested interest in keeping that closed area safe. But anything beyond it may be a problem. It has to do with deals or creating peace between various different tribes or communities, and having the elders come together to agree to peace, because you have Queen of Rods who seeks justice absolute, and then Page of Wands can be a new beginning or a new contract between communities. So, yeah, that's the story. Yeah, there's a door between Afghanistan and China. And of course, Afghanistan has a relationship with Pakistan. And then you had Iran coming in, wanting to get trade in, and going in through Iran, which is an ally, right? The opium and everything else. So America getting out, and what Putin had said, it should be open trade. Anybody and everybody should be able to use those roads, and we're in violation of certain treaties. It could be that the United States realizes that it can no longer police the world, and so maybe Putin and everybody else is going to get what they want, and they're going to share the roads. Because for those people who've been watching the channel that have heard what Putin says when we go into his energy, that seems to be his number one argument. So say we give him a little bit, he gives us a little bit. We'll see what happens in Afghanistan, and if they'll be able to come up with a way to keep the roads open for everybody to do trade peacefully. All right, so that is that. We've been here for about an hour and 15 minutes. It is really hot. I think I'm going to have to turn on the air conditioning. If you're trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. And please, 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 if you are thinking about joining me at the Feel Good Festival, I'm going to say it one more time, and you would like, and you're part of Healing the Planet. You can contact the Feel Good Festival or Feel Good Festival at gmail.com. I think it might just be Feel Good Festival. All right. You can contact Feel Good Feel Good Festival at gmail.com. And if you need a booth and you want to get a discount or share a booth with other people that are part of this community, just let Michelle Knight know, and use the code OurTribe. Also, if you just want to get tickets and bring your friends to the Feel Good Festival and Future Expo in Atlanta, July 17th and 18th, you can go to feelgoodfestival.com and use the code OurTribe to get 30% off the tickets. Thank you, everybody, for the support. And yeah, please pray for Haiti and also for people who are dealing with difficult weather right now. All right. Take care, everyone.